All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Max from Agape Family Chiropractic, your prenatal, pediatric, and family chiropractor in Eureka, Missouri. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to be going over a webinar called Proprioceptive Seekers. And if that caught your attention, you probably already know a little bit about what proprioceptive seeking is. And if not, you're still interested about what that is, don't worry, we're going to be going over what all that means. Either way, if you grab your attention, I'm excited that you're here. So sit tight and we will get started. All right. Cool. So what is proprioception? Big word of the day there, right? So big word, but something that's very easy to understand. Proprioception is a communication that the brain interprets and understands. So there's two ways of communication in our body, from the brain to the body and the body to the brain, okay? So the communication to the brain is called sensory feedback. Proprioception is just one of two kinds of sensory feedback in your body. All right, so proprioception is the brain's understanding of where the body is in space. It does this through sensing movement, vibration, and good signals back to the brain. So an example of proprioception would be if I know my hand is right here. I can't see it, I can't hear it, I can't smell it, but I know my hand is there because of that proprioceptive input back to my brain. Now the hands and the arms actually have very low proprioceptive input. We'll get into that here in a second. Sorry, jumping around on the slide deck here. I apologize. I'll do that sometimes. So these receptors that were located in the joints, and some areas are, like I was saying, more dense than other areas, the arm being one of the lower areas. But the dense areas, I'll go ahead and give you a hint, but the upper neck is very dense in those proprioceptive sensors and sending good feedback back to the brain. Shoot, I did just jump over that. So proprioceptive is very calming to the brain, okay? It's calming, relaxing, soothing. The movement stuff is very, very good for your brain. Think of it like Mozart, okay? It's very calming, very smooth, very rhythmic, very just soothing and calming, right? However, the other kind of feedback is called nociception. So this is like a pain feedback, right? It's loud, as far as the brain's interpreting it, loud, annoying, noisy, irritating. If you think of something like Baby Shark on repeat in the minivan, okay, that would be nociception in your brain. That's just constantly going. You can't focus on all the other things, right? You can't back the car up into a parking spot while that's on repeat super loud. You have to be able to turn that down, okay? So these two feedbacks are like two identical keys to the same lock in the brain. It's called the gate theory. Only one feedback key, though, can get in at a time until the other is stimulated, and that key will get stuck in the brain. So if you have this nociception that's on and that key's in there and it's locked and it's stuck, you can't get that proprioceptive feedback, and therefore you have that Baby Shark just stuck going and going and going in your brain, right? So these very high-paced kiddos typically have a lot of that nociception, that loud noise to the brain. And they just get stuck in that state, right? So why do kiddos seek this proprioceptive feedback? They don't have it naturally facilitating to their brain in that proper movement. It's just not in those receptor areas, okay? So when they don't have proprioception naturally facilitating to the brain, proper movement is not in those receptors seeking movement. As a result of that, that's when you start to get all the different tics and the head banging and all that different stuff, which we're about to jump to right now. So proprioceptive receptors and sensors, 33% of the entire body's receptors are located, like I said, in this upper neck area, from the base of the skull to that C1 and C2, okay? This is a very, very important area. If you've ever been to our office before, you know we put a huge emphasis on this area, not just because of the proprioception, but because of all the neurological components that go along with the upper cervical area. But with this area, you're going to get the head banging, the tics, the neck jetting, and movements and different things like that with your neck. You'll get the oral seekers, the people who are chewing, biting, grinding, yelling. The body's wanting to get all that information from this area because it's not getting it correctly on its own. All right, and then the grinding teeth, that is not just the proprioception, but a lot of these kids are stuck in that fight or flight response and aren't able to calm down. So they're getting, a double whammy there. You've got the teeth grinding for the proprioceptive input, and because they're on that stressed and fight or flight part of their body or their nervous system. Okay, so 60% of the entire body's receptors are located the rest of the spine. These kids are going to be running, jumping, wrestling, crashing, need that deep pressure, deep hugs. Okay, it may not seem very calming on the outside looking in, or the outside looking in and what's going on, but this stimulation is very, very calming for their brain, and their brain is seeking that calmness. The other receptors of the area, the body, are the hands, the feet, and other big movement areas. So these are the very tactile kids. Okay, they're always touching every item in the grocery store, can't keep their hands to themselves, always touching and fidgeting and moving around. Okay, so how does chiropractic help with this? Chiropractors, the ones trained specifically like we are at the office, are able to locate the areas not giving the brain proper proprioceptive or calming feedback. We're able to introduce that proper signaling to the brain. Okay, over time, this is going to allow the body to start naturally facilitating that proprioception that they're seeking and craving, instead of seeking it out from the outside. Okay, the kids are the hero in this story. When we get these kids to the point where we need them, they don't need that outside stimulation. They don't need the brushing, the weighted blankets, trampoline swings, you name it. Their body is able to facilitate that proprioception on its own, which is super, super important. So I want to share with you a story here about Holden. Okay, so Holden came in. He's got a ton of energy. He's fun, silly, playful, always cheerful and delight to be around. And when he started care, I was struggling to channel all that energy and use it in a positive way. He's a kid with big emotions, lots of highs, lows, very little stability in his actions and his behaviors. His family even said, he can be difficult at times to be around. And nobody wants that stress on their family. So has problems following directions, struggling transitioning from one thing to the next, almost like his body was not in his own control. So constantly on the go, 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 very little personal space, always looking to keep moving continuously. And talking with Holden, it was like his brain was moving faster than the rest of his body. His body couldn't keep up. The brain being, think of it like the engine of his body. So with balancing his nervous system through chiropractic, getting that proprioceptive feedback, started to see some awesome changes in him. Now, not only that, is he's using his energy in a more positive way. His body is also better at organizing and responding to situations around him. He's happier, more upbeat, and balanced with his emotions. He's no longer feeling like his brain is running out of control. And instead, after an adjustment, he even said, I can feel it calm my engine. Okay, so his engine being what is running the rest of his body. So taking a look at these scans here, these are pre and post scans. We're not going to go into the details about what all of this is, but look at it left to right, and then look at the symptoms in the middle. The poor listening going over to more focus and positive energy, balanced emotions, proprioception seeking, lots of extra energy, going over to feeling like he can calm his brain or calm his engine, and less of that extra energy. He's not spending so much energy on unnecessary things. Okay. So when children begin to recognize that chiropractic adjustments are helping their system to relax and calm, they love getting adjusted. Holden getting adjusted just laughs, right? And he just flat out loves it. There's no other way to put it. And he just laughs. His brain, he knows that his brain needs it. And that's when we get comments from kids like him saying, I can feel it calm my engine. Okay. If this sounds like your child or somebody you know or somebody you care about, please contact our office. And our number is 636-549-9004. Wherever you're watching this, we'll have it posted along with that, or go to agapefamchiro.com and schedule a consultation. If you were watching this webinar somewhere outside of our area, please feel free to get a hold of us. We have a network of doctors doing the exact same kind of stuff, taking these scans, seeing before and after results just like we are. And we would love to help any kid anywhere get these results like Holden. So again, please contact our office if you have any questions or if you're looking to help out your kid that is a proprioceptive seeker. Again, my name is Dr. Max Orris at Agape Family Chiropractic, your prenatal, pediatric, and family chiropractor in Eureka, Missouri. Thanks again for tuning in.